Carlin Pickens was pretty dominating as a whole, picking up 2 wins, except for Cassidy Pickering, going 7 for 8, but named this SEC Pitcher of the Week, and just want to see a response from the Sooners.
Yeah, I think Pickens is a very good pitcher. I mean, that is a tough opponent in Tennessee. I mean, they're a great squad, but Carlin Pickens really stood out in the circle, and Pickering is just an overall great hitter. Again, she's seeing the ball so well, no matter what the velocity is, no matter what the location is. Pickering is seeing the ball unbelievably well, and Pickens, again, just a great pitcher on the mound, great leader, just overall great player.
Pickens, Pickering, pick one. They were pretty ridiculous in the series here last week with Tennessee in town, and Sydney Sanders leading off for the Sooners. And you can talk about that series a ton, but when we had a conversation with Coach Gasso earlier this week, the motto and what she kept saying over and over and over is she wants to see this team bow up.
Yeah. You want to see them really come out and, I mean, I don't know how to explain what she means by bow up. It's just show up and show out, and that's what she wants from these girls. She wants them to be aggressive. She wants them to be aggressive in all aspects of the game, whether it's on the base paths, going after a ball. She wants them to take pitches aggressively. She's just looking for a lot more aggressiveness, and she said, a lot more communication on your hitting approach and what you're seeing from these pitchers. She just wants to see the little things and a lot more aggressiveness.
Sydney Sanders drawing the leadoff walk to tally her 29th walk of the season.
Number 50, Iwanda.
And for Vega, just her 21st on the year and over 77 innings pitched. And that'll bring up Ailana Agbayani. Shows bunt, and it's going to roll foul. And Sid Sanders can talk about the power and what she brings, but unreal in her ability to draw walks and set the Sooners up early here in the second with an option with Agbayani, who is just so versatile in what she can do with the stick.
She's been so fun to watch. She has placed some unbelievably great bunts down. She's a great execution.
And speaking of unbelievable bunts, this is going to be a great play by Beth Damon, popping out behind the plate as Agbayani has been called out at first base. Curious to see, as Coach Gasso's having a conversation with home plate umpire Hayes Lesher, if it's going to be a conversation of did she beat the throw or did first baseman Ashley Griffin pull her foot?
Yeah, I think Agbayani is very confident in her beating the throw. That's what I feel when she kind of, as soon as she ran through first, she felt that she was safe.
And you could see Agbayani kind of starting to make her way back to the dugout, and a couple of the Sooner players, Maya Bland in particular, kind of going, no, you stay out there.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're having a little bit of an audio issue with first base umpire Kaylee Young. But in what looks to be will be a challenge.
Yeah, there will be a challenge, which, again, is it that they pulled the foot or just flat out safe?
And I think the challenge is, you look at it, I mean, it was a very close play, but as I was watching it live, I felt like I saw a little bit of
execution on that. And great placement. I mean, that's a tough play to make.
Here comes Kaylee Young with the verdict. It's Beth Damon trying to keep Sydney Sanders on her toes, and I heard Coach Gasso talk about the aggressiveness that she saw when Coach JT Gasso was in the third base coach's back in game 1 last night. But good opportunity here for the Sooners to put some runners in motion, Destiny, you think? And don't need runners in motion when you have a line shot to left field. Sydney Sanders will score. And we've got Agbayani hung up in between third and home, and Agbayani will be tagged out, and good base running by Emmerling standing on third base.
Oh yeah, that was amazing base running. I love the aggressiveness to get herself to third. I think understanding Agbayani's situation, her job is to stay in that rundown and try to win that battle. Agbayani's got to try to get out of that. If she doesn't, Emmerling understood the assignment, and that was to get herself to third so that they're in the same situation with an opportunity to score again.
And UCF finding a way to get an out, but not before the Sooners are able to take an early lead here, 1-0. And UCF left fielder Taylor Kittleman playing the ball off the wall, getting the ball in quick, saving a run.
She did a great job, I think, reading that ball. You've got to take that first step back.
And this is popped up on the infield. Griffin will glove it for route number 2 to bring up Hannah Core in the 9 slot.
Left fielder, number 16, Abigail Dayton.
And rolling it back to the top as Abby Dayton has an opportunity to put up a cricket number here in the second. Dayton popped up to third base in her first at bat. And Vega worked around a pair of runners in scoring position back in the first. Runner at third, 1 out. Got the quick out of Hannah Core to pop up on the infield. Looking to minimize the damage here, but falls behind. 3 balls and no strikes to Abby Dayton.
And 52 miles an hour on that pitch. She's averaging right around 60, 61, but to take some of that off is tough as a hitter. We're seeing a lot of pop-ups just because it's so tough to wait.
A 4-pitch walk to Abby Dayton, and again, something for Isabella Vega that you haven't seen too much in the year. Just 20 walks walking into this game, walked 2 into this inning. And that'll bring up Nelly Macaron Marinas, who had an infield single in her first at bat. Beth Damon, the UCF catcher, popping out quickly to keep an eye on Abby Dayton. Abigail Dayton, 12 for 14 and stolen bases on the season. And she'll take off with the pitch and get hung up in a rundown in between second and third, as Emmerling will score easily, and the Sooners wreaking some havoc on the base paths to manufacture a run.
I mean, that was a really good job. I think just doing what she's supposed to do with Dayton, getting in that rundown and allowing that runner to have some time to score from third base. That's the name of the game, first and third place.
Exactly how they drew it up. And the Sooners facing the 9-1-2 as Madison Simon, the righty, stands in for the Knights. Transfer from Oregon State, playing her senior season down in Orlando. Landry fires in and worked out of, again, jams in the first and second. The Knights have had runners aboard both innings, but have not been able to capitalize. And Landry ahead here, a ball and 2 strikes. Pretty good crowd here at Loves Field, considering
The weather.
it's freezing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's freezing, especially for April.
Oh, it's a good crowd. There's a lot going on in Norman today. There's baseball. Got the medieval fair this weekend.
Oklahoma baseball taking on LSU just up the road. And any Central Oklahoma native knows that the Medieval Fair weekend is a big deal. If you haven't been, it's the 1-2, and Simon stays alive. Getting rid of some good pitches from Landry. That pitch just enough inside, in on the hands, and Simon gets rid of it. And Landry pulls the string to sit Simon down, her third strikeout on the day.
I mean, throughout that at-bat, I saw Landry hit 71 miles an hour. I saw her hit 64. And on this last pitch here, we see her hit 56. That is so tough as a hitter to adjust and understand your timing in the box.
That'll roll it back to the top of the lineup as first pitch hacked. Gonna fall foul. Sierra Humphreys singled to start the ball game, but was stranded at second base back in the first, and Humphreys seeing that average creep closer and closer to 400. And we've talked so much, and we've seen it on both sides. We've seen Vega changing speeds as well in a much different way than Landry, as that pitch catches the inside corner right at the knee at 66 miles an hour. And what's, as a hitting coach, Destiny, what is the conversation being had in really truly in both dugouts, but right now in the Central Florida dugout, of making those adjustments and sitting on that off speed?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to our conversation with Cindy Ball Malone of attacking early. You understand that Sam Landry's goal is to get ahead of the count. So you're going to see a good pitch, probably first pitch. You've got to be ready to attack, or else you're going to have to figure out the balance.
Different hitters, same setup, same result. Back-to-back Ks from Landry, both off-speed pitches.
And the dangerous part with Sam Landry is that she's willing and capable of throwing that pitch in any count. That's the dangerous part. You don't want to get to that point. And in this situation, she's working ahead in the count. You might want to start looking at that first pitch as your only option. Of course, I say that, and then that one goes in the dirt.
Announcer's curse. Samantha Ray stands in for the Knights and grounded back to Landry in the first inning. But no, I'm with you, Destiny. It's you have to pick a horse, right? You've got to either sit late and gear up for the off speed, or you've got to be aggressive and go after the first pitch strike. And we're seeing Landry make that a priority. Nearly every hitter she's faced here this evening so far, she's been in a plus count.
You want to see the hitters adjust too. You want to see them be late, even on a faster pitch, fouling some stuff off that's opposite field, just working later in the zone. So that way they're a little bit more on time when that pitch does come in, when that off-speed pitch does come in.
Landry set to fire the 2-2. It's popped up and out of play. We've talked a lot about Central Florida and some of the wins that they have racked up this year. Again, beating Missouri, who was ranked at the time, taking 2 of 3 from Arizona. A big win over Florida just last week, or a week and a half ago. Is going to be cut off by Macaro Marinas, and the Sooners retire the side for the first time in this ball game as we head to the bottom of the third. 2-3-4 due up. OU alums, as Central Florida went to the bullpen in between innings, and Isabella Vega, who got the start, being pulled early in this ball game. And Elkins, the junior, Little bit of a different look than what we saw from Vega. It's got a little bit more velocity, Destiny.
Yeah, a little bit more velocity. We're going to see between 64, 67. Her go-to pitch is the drop ball. I think we may see some hard ground balls.
Balls behind. Macaron Marinas, 3 balls and a strike. And Lena Elkins on the season. Just 8 appearances, 3-2 with a 3.92 ERA, 19 2/3 innings thrown. As this pitch is just gonna fall foul. As the count runs 3 balls and 2 strikes. You can't get much closer than that.
No, you can't. A little bit of a delay on the call. I mean, that landed right on the line.
See a little chalk fly, as we say, Destiny. Nonetheless.
I do love that Nelly McEnroe-Morenas was standing on second base just in case.
Even better, right? Those are the little things. But either way, McEnroe-Morenas is aboard to start the 3rd and back-to-back innings where the Sooners have drawn a leadoff walk.
I think that's what gets the momentum going. Getting that leadoff batter on is an issue for anyone on this field. One of the main goals is to get that leadoff batter out.
The walk will bring up Pickering. Singled back in the 1st to extend the hitting streak to 13 games. Shows bunt. Pickering's average 457. And it's not early. We're talking
mid-season.
Yes.
I mean, she's faced, her performance against Pickens was unbelievable.
And you're talking one of the best in the country.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to take anything away from Vega. Vega, a freshman who started this game, and Damon keeping McEnroe-Morenas honest at first base. But Vega started this game. Pickering, line drive single, just making it look easy regardless of who's in the circle. 3-1, another line drive to the left side. McEnroe-Morenas will be held at second base and call it a 2-for-2 day so far for Pickering.
I mean, she's just seeing the ball so well on all sides of the plate. Her contact point, whether it's up in the zone, outer half, I mean, she's seeing the ball so well. I mean, that one was up and out. Did exactly what she needed to do with it. Found that 5-6 hole.
Pickering seeing the ball so well.
She's got it. She sees the ball well. It's just got to fall. And once it falls, it's more than likely going to be unstoppable for her.
Parker started the season about as hot as they come. Hit 640 through the month of February. And I'm telling you, there is not a single pitcher in the world that could have gotten her out. Struggled a bit. March into April, just 136 as this pitch is launched to left field. And talk about coming out of a slump in a big way. Call it a grand slam for Ella Parker. And the Sooner fans are on their feet, and Ella Parker rising to the occasion.
That is exactly what she needed. I think that spark, that moment, that opportunity for her to see that pitch and send it completely out, that was no question. That is something that gives you your spark back.
Destiny, this pitch,
belt high pitch. I mean, that is a pitch that you can't really afford to throw to a hitter like Ella Parker. But I mean, seeing that ball out, that is what she needed. That is the spark.
the grand slam will bring up Sydney Sanders, looking to start the rally again. Nobody out for the Sooners here in the third.
Freshman now.
The Grand Slam makes it 6-0, and Sydney Sanders started the rally for the Sooners back in the second, drawing a walk and came around to score on Isabella Emmerling's RBI. And Destiny, you were talking about it, of how tough it can be to be in that position, especially as a sophomore. I feel like I say this all the time. Being a sophomore is tough, especially after you had a season like Ella Parker did as a freshman.
Yeah.
What does an at-bat like that do for her mindset?
I think it's a confidence adjustment that you can now, that you have in your back pocket. I think you get so far down the rabbit hole of I haven't hit, can I hit? What am I doing wrong? You start questioning your mechanics, you start questioning yourself, your talents, your abilities. And I think that is something that is so needed to be like, you know what, I am a great hitter. That's what I needed. And I'm a timely hitter. I think that has so much to do with the confidence, and it's just kind of a new slate now.
2-2 to Sanders, off speed and grounded foul. This game has been all Oklahoma so far. It's the off speed, misses outside, and Elkins starting to go to the changeup, came into this game to start the third in relief of the freshman Isabella Vega. And Sydney Sanders, and what she believed to be ball 4, low and away, will be called out looking for the first out of the inning.
Second baseman, number 50,
Pitch from Elkins.
I mean, I think that pitch is definitely too close to take with 2 strikes. You've got to foul it off. If you don't like it, just get it out of there. Keep your at-bat alive.
Ailana Agbayani stands in. And, you know, we talk so much about Sydney Sanders and the eye that she has and the discipline and her understanding of the strike zone. Again, 29 walks on the year. But a big strikeout and good response by Elkins in the circle.
Yeah, I think that's just one of those things. You just don't want to leave it up to the umpire. You can't afford to do that, I think. If it's that close, you've got to just send it out. Keep your at-bat alive and don't leave it up to the umpire.
Lena Elkins, the junior, as we mentioned, in on relief, but works up and down. Mixes speeds ahead of Agbayani here, a ball and 2 strikes. Catcher Beth Damon out to have a conversation. And what's the message here, Destiny? I mean, the Grand Slam, but also responding with the strikeout.
Yeah. I think it's a tough situation for her because you want to paint the plate, you want to paint the corners, you want to do all of those things, but you also got to throw strikes, and that's where it's hard because these hitters with this OU offense, if you throw a strike, there's a chance that they can do something with it. So I think just those borderline pitches, just like we saw Sydney Sanders strike out on, is where you've got to stay.
That pitch gets away from Elkins, and Agbayani will be aboard via the hit by pitch to bring up Emmerling.
the catcher, number 13,
Isabella Emmerling, big hit back in the second. Get the scoring moving for the Sooners. And if you look at Central Florida and their body of work, you feel, and I feel like this is always, at least in recent years under Coach Cindy Ball Malone, This ball is laced to right field and going to just fall foul. But they're always one of those teams who absolutely fights. Every game you have with them is a battle, but they always find a way to win ball games that people wouldn't necessarily expect them to win.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely a testament to the head coach. I think what she's created is fight. You don't give up. You continue to push through each inning, take it one pitch at a time.
Speaking of one pitch at a time, Emmerling is sat down via the changeup, and Elkins just absolutely pulling the string.
It's a great pitch, and trusting it in that count. It's huge. I think Emmerling just not seeing the ball as well. It's kind of out of the zone, but I think pulling the string kind of.
Third strikeout by UCF pitching here tonight. Bring up Hannah Core. Core popped out in foul territory to the first baseman in her first at bat. 343 on the year. Elkins changes speeds again. But kind of getting back, Central Florida really on the year again, 23-16-1. But when you look at Central Florida, really had some really good wins and some key wins early, but have struggled a little bit since getting into Big 12 play. Just 4-8 in the Big 12 since entering conference. Got swept by Iowa State. Lost the series down in Waco to Baylor just last weekend. Good location from Elkins.
I think that kind of goes to show sometimes you see teams really show up when they have nothing to lose. And I don't know that that's the case. I haven't seen all of their games. You know, I think that's just kind of a mentality that you kind of show up when you're playing against Arizona. You're getting after it. When you're playing against Florida, at Florida, you have nothing to lose.
And the two-strike pitch is going to loop into right field, and Hannah Core, a little bit of two-out hitting as Agbayani moves up into scoring position, and that'll roll the lineup back over to Abby Dayton.
A good piece of hitting. Seeing that ball down in the zone. These girls are doing a good job letting the ball travel deeper into the zone and sending it opposite field. They're seeing the ball really well.
Conversations on both sides as Coach Gasso wants to chat with her offense, and opportunity here for the Sooners.
Lots of speed on the base paths. We do have 2 outs, so it'd be interesting to see if she has a play call here.